I mean, I know we all have trauma past, really. It makes us and defines us of who we are. It's about getting over that and about getting through it and accepting who you are today and even loving yourself today.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Whole person coaching looks at your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and energetic self in order to help you reach greater health, harmony, and wellness. I think it's the energy techniques that accompany this coaching that really makes the difference and allows people to move forward, because everything has an energetic imprint. And unless that imprint is cleared and healed, then you're almost doomed to repeat the same experiences that you've had before.
Right. So recognizing patterns in oneself is huge. I believe that once you recognize a repeated pattern, that's when you can become self-aware, if you can break free of loving yourself. But you can break that pattern and you can make a change. I just want to put this out there, but there are so many people that don't want to change to the timeline. And it just cracks me up because it literally organizes your entire life for you and all your events in a matter of seconds. And truthfully, out of all the people we invited, only 2 of them didn't have timelines because it limited us being able to see only what they had posted for that day and not for what they posted last week or an event they had or any highlights.
Right.
So that's just a personal thing. I just don't. Everybody changes the timeline. It's wonderful. It helps you get known. So.
Sure. I think we all, a change affects each of us differently. And, coaching is something that can work with the uniqueness of each individual and help that person, accomplish change, which might be different than another person, what another person needs.
Because everybody is so individual and we all have our own end result.
That's right.
And someone else's path or advice or anything cannot get us to our end result. And I think that's why coaches are so important, because we guide you to seeing not only the outcome for the thought you're thinking, but the outcomes to other thoughts you could be thinking to get you to your own end result. And I walk them through a recipe, basically my recipe, and then pretty soon they understand how to make it work with their own, and boom, they have their own recipe of life and all their dreams come true. Like my sister is an inspiration. You can do it overnight.
Mhm. It's possible, and some people take longer.
Right. Yeah, definitely is. But it's a learning process. It's like exercise. You're not going to go the first day you're so sore. The second day you actually don't feel too bad. The third day you're so sore, and then you give up.
Mhm.
But after that, if you would just keep going for a couple more days, it would be more energizing, and you wouldn't notice any soreness.
Absolutely.
On an energy level, what would you classify like anxiety? How could you classify that?
Well, it's really a matter of looking at where does the anxiety stem from and how pervasive is it in the individual's life. And so oftentimes, as someone is receiving an energy treatment, they would become extremely relaxed and the anxiety would melt away. And then underneath that, as the energy healing continues, there would be maybe some core issues that would be discovered and addressed, right, and then worked on in subsequent coaching sessions with the individual. A lot of times individuals know they have a sense of where the anxiety is coming from as well. It could be, parenting a teenager. It could be an illness that's coming through. And there are certain practices that can be done to help that individual as well, such as just relaxation and breathing and mindfulness training or meditation.
I'm Delaine. I'm calling from 18 miles outside of Key West, Florida. It's a beautiful day here, about 80 degrees. I'm sitting here looking at the ocean and sending the ocean breeze and beautiful tropical weather to everyone that's listening.
Do you have any questions for Amy?
I have a question, because I did hear her talking about frequency.
Okay.
Can we have a high frequency while we're still experiencing the emotions of fear? For example, I do energy healing myself, and I know that I have high frequency. But at the same time, I have to play out these emotions. So I say the Ho'oponopono all the time. I love you, I'm sorry, please, thank you. in my mind, but at the same time, it's a question for me because I know that the lower vibrations and frequency come up as an opportunity to heal them, but I'm wondering how that is affecting my overall frequency as I work to heal and love myself, because as I heal the one, I'm healing the all.
And Amy, what would you say about that?
Well, I would say there's an integration process going on. And, of course, the more that you're in, I want to say, a state of fear or a lower vibrational state, you won't be in as pure a love state as the healing might otherwise allow. And sometimes those states arise because we need to be grounded. Sometimes it's unresolved issues. And sometimes we just need to be integrating all of who we are and loving those parts of ourselves as well, and accepting it, that we have parts that are, different frequencies than others. I think if you can set aside that part of yourself when you're doing an energy healing, certainly your frequency will be higher during the session.
Definitely, but I just realized that in the third dimension, we have these emotions. I mean, I realize and connect with home, and when I connect with home, I feel the love. And, of course, doing energy healing and healing past lives, you're there. But as we go about our day-to-day lives, those little emotions come up.
Right. Well, part of it is we're also home here. The earth is our home for right now, even though we might have all come from different places out there. The earth is our home, and I think when we accept that and work with the earth as our home, it changes our perspective and changes the way we're able to manage those emotions.
And bringing yourself back to the moment, I believe, helps a lot, too, because when you get that anxiety from being, or those feelings start to come, they're okay, because they're there for a reason. And it's okay to work on those and heal those. And a lot of those you can turn into affirmations and do amazing mirror work with. But I think that you just have to a little bit allow them, and the faster you bring your thoughts from what you don't want, because that is really what's coming up, and you bring it to focusing and looking on what you do want, the transformation happens so fast. It's just, again, like the same example of exercise. The first day it's hard, the second day it's a little easier, the third day it's excruciating, and the fourth day you quit. You just keep going. And every time you notice, that's all you can do. Just do it every time you can notice, and pretty soon you're going to be noticing almost every time.
Absolutely.
Amy, do you have any closing words?
So I'd just like to say to everyone to take a deep breath and feel within yourself the love that's at the root of your being, the root of your soul, and allow that love to not only fill all the parts of you, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and energetically, but also to radiate out to others in whatever way you can, whether it's a smile to someone close to you or a helping hand or a hug, and to use this opportunity to just share that love in whatever